Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. Well, a lot different. So as you see here, I have EDHREC pulled up, which is probably the best website to use for making a commander deck, which is a type of version or a type of game mode per se for Magic the Gathering, which is a card game. Which is a card game that, as you should know if you've watched my content, is a card game that I like very much and play. So, Tucker, Kyle, and I, Tucker and Kyle, who you've seen on my channel before, Tucker a lot, Kyle very little, are going to be doing a challenge, and it might become a series if people enjoy it. So let me know. The challenge is going to be at the start of the week. We hit this button right here. This button is a random commander. So we hit this button 5 times. So that unofficial doesn't count. So we 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we don't like any of those, we go 1, 2, 3. Oh, I like that one. 4. And if we don't like those, we go 1, 2, and 3. Don't like that, we go 1, and we go 2. If we don't like that, you go 1, and you have to pick that one. And each time you don't like the set that you have to discard that set, and you don't get to pick from that set anymore. You only get to pick from the current set you want. So when you're at 5, you can pick one of the 5. If you don't like that, you can only pick one of the 4, one of the 3, one of the 2, and if you go all the way down to 1, you have to play that one. Now Tucker and Kyle, when they were doing this, both went down to 1. Tucker got Breya, and Kyle got I have no clue who Kyle got. What's his name? It's in my description here. Kyle got Momir as his commander. I got, if we go all the way back here, I got this guy, Oloro, Ageless Ascetic. And I only went down to 5. I just picked this guy because I got him. So this guy is built against like life gain and all that stuff. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card, and each opponent loses 1 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if OG is in your command zone, you gain 2 life. So no matter what, this guy gives you 2 life per turn, no matter where he is. And if you gain life, which you always will, you can pay 1. If you pay 1, you draw a card. So this guy gives you a lot of cards. So that means every single turn, no matter what, you can draw 2 cards. Because he's rather going to be well, unless you're, for whatever reason, you choose to make him go to the graveyard, or someone takes control of your turn, and then makes that guy die somehow, and then they get to choose to make it go into the graveyard or exile. But except for those 2 extreme cases, you will always gain 2 life, and you'll always be able to draw a second card if you choose to do so. So back to the challenge. The challenge is we're going to play those 3 commanders. I picked this guy. Well, I mean, I got this guy, and they got the other 2 that I mentioned before. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be making our deck. The rules are that you can't have a card in your deck that's over $100. So each individual card can't be over $100 unless the other 2 agree to let you have it. And that's the only rule. I'm hoping that Kyle or Tucker don't go, yeah, I win on turn 0, so I win, sort of thing. Hopefully they knew that, so it's an actual nice challenge. So you might be wondering, how are we going to do this? It would be an incredible amount of money. We're going to be using Xmage. So Xmage is a program, very crude in design, but very useful in how you can use it. So Xmage has every single Magic card in it, for the most part, and it's all for free, and you get to make a deck, play against other people, and it lays down each individual phase. So I don't like Xmage very much because of how many steps there is, but it gives you every single possibility to do whatever you want. It's better laid out than a normal Magic the Gathering game. So we like to use it, and it gives you access to all cards, and you don't have to pay any money. It's 100% free. So what we're going to be doing during this stream is we're going to be making our deck that we're going to be using on the weekend. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to see if we're going to make it a series. If you enjoy it, what we're going to do at the start of the week. I can't win with my commander before turn 5-ish. Okay, good to know, Kyle. So we pick at the start of the week, and at the end of the week we have our deck and we fight. And it might be like best 2 to 3 or whatever. So I think it's something different because it's not 1 versus 1. It's 1 versus 1 versus 1. So we have here tapped out. Tapped out is a great way to lay out all of your decks in Magic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay out our deck here using EDH Rec, and then we're gonna have here save, have the text box here, copy the text box, and we're gonna copy it into X Mage, and the X Mage will automatically build our deck, and then we'll be able to play it. So, if any of you watching know Magic the Gathering and would have some tips or some good card ideas, let me know. But for the most part, we're going to be sticking to this this website with all of the synergies and all that stuff. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Search your library for basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay, but we definitely want this, because this right here plus this is an infinite combo. So we go here, hit enter, and adds that. Then we're gonna go name. Go to the only good format in Magic. Okay, and then we add this card. So the way this combo works is, so if we look at this card, whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So, for example, let's say an opponent loses 1 life. Whenever opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So they lose 1, you gain 1. And look, whenever you gain life, an opponent loses 1 life. So you gain 1 life, so they lose 1 life. But because they lost 1 life, you gain 1 life, and it goes infinitely. So with this, all you have to do is gain 1 single life, and then you kill everyone. Are we allowed to add cards from EDH Rec, or are we allowed other cards? You can add cards from anywhere. We're you can't. The other rule is you can't copy someone's deck. You have to make your own. So it has to be. You can't be like 99% someone else's and 1% yours. It has to be like more than 50% yours. You can copy someone's like theme, but you can't copy their deck. But you can still use the same cards. Just don't use all of the same cards, sort of thing. It has to be your own deck. So now that we've got these two, right? Or did I not put it in yet? I didn't put it in yet. Okay, so that is an infinite combo. There we go. Okay, so we're also going to want Aether Flux Reservoir, because this card works very well when you play multiple things per turn. This is also good too. This gives a creature lifelink, and then whenever you gain life this much, this turn each opponent loses that much life. So that's really good too, because this is all about life gain. The truth is, when it comes to commander, life gain is incredibly nerfed for one reason, because there's something called commander damage. In a normal standard game, life is very, 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 very good, unless you're playing against a combo standard deck, which isn't very common, but still there's still possibilities. Or if you're playing against infect, which I don't think works because there's not really any infect cards in standard right now. So that's why it's a lot more broken. In commander, if you take 21 commander damage, you can't heal, you die. So that's why healing life gain decks aren't really that good, because you can have infinite life and still die. But we're not doing this for life. We're doing this for when we gain life, they take damage. Unless we have this guy, which we are going to, because it's a win condition. I want as many win conditions as you can get in a deck. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. I don't think we need that. Whenever you gain life, draw a card. Now this is not necessary, because whenever we gain life, we already draw a card. Because we can do it whenever. So we can draw a lot of cards. So that means we're going to want infinite hand size as well. So see, this creature right here is really good. So it's 5 mana, 5 white or 5 black. And if we have more than 25 life, we get +4/+4. So it's pretty much a 5 mana for an 8/8, because in Commander, you're most likely always going to have above 25, unless you're dying, especially because it's only 5 mana. So this card right here is very good to add. We're also going to add this guy, because this guy, you have 40 life at the beginning of your upkeep, you win the game, which is nice. And we're also allowed no ban cards. This is also nice. So this is like a command spear. Instead of being able to sacrifice it to draw a card, you just gain 1 life every single time. So this is very nice. So I said actually, because of our commander, instead of having to sacrifice it to get a card, we can tap it, get 1 mana, gain 1 life, and draw a card. So with just tapping it, we get 3 things from it. So that is really good. If we have everything out, of course. This is all situational. This is one of the other guys that I got, but I chose the other guy because this guy is already in the deck and he's not as good, but he's got a lot of counters. And my personal favorite thing in Magic is counters, because I started out with Abzan, and Abzan had a lot of counters using Outlast. My very first deck was Abzan, and almost all my decks after that were Abzan color. Or had the Abzan colors in it, because I have Saskia right now. I had Gave. Those are my 2 commander decks that I've had so far. I made a Selesnya commander deck out of my collection, but I don't really buy Magic cards, so I don't have the best collection. But what the idea of the deck was, it was a temporary +1/+1 until end of turn deck, with also some permanent counters. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Yeah, we can do this, because with the amount of life we're gaining, it doesn't matter to lose 1 life. And extra card draw is always good. This is going to be an unbelievable card draw deck. Like, I don't really do card draw decks very much too. And also, because we're in blue, I actually hate my favorite color is blue. But in Magic, I hate the color blue to play against and to play. But our commander is blue. So we finally get to have fun with counter spells, which is something I am always bugged by Tucker, because Tucker, every single deck he's ever gone has been blue. So, okay, so our strategy right now is going to be drawing cards, gaining life, and Pillow Fort. So no, we're not going to go 100% Pillow Fort here. This is so we can protect ourselves, so we can't be damaged. So going like this helps us a lot, because it allows us to have people not be able to attack us with their commanders, right? If they don't have the mana to do so, because It doesn't matter how much life we had, as I said before, when there's a finite amount of commander damage you can take. And we have 100 cards to fill, so... creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life. Now this is a very cheap mana costing card. This is a 1-drop, so it's always good to have 1-drops, and it does what we want to do. So we're gonna add that here. This is mana ramp. Mana ramp's always good. Oh, and it's that's how all of them look. I was gonna say, oh my god, it gives you 2 mana, but that's how they're all. That's what they all do. So we'll add a signet. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player plays one. Ageless Ascetic. This is a card that Tucker has in a lot of his decks. And he likes saying, would you like to pay 1 for that? All the time. Until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you have protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is incredible. We definitely want that, because this can win us the game. Because we just have to have 40 life. It's 40. 40 life. Yeah. So we just don't have to lose life and we win the game if we have that card. So we're definitely going to add that. An additional cost, pay X life, all creatures get X minus X until end of turn. See, that's all creatures though, including ours. So that might not really be the best. But see, this card here, which I actually have, you can have that because its toughness and power are equal to how much life we have, and because we're going to be gaining so much life, and it has it does not have flying. So it's always going to be in our library unless it's exiled, which is nice. So it's going to be very big. At the beginning of your end step, you may gain life equal to the power of target creature you control. That's really good. Especially if we have these two. So these 2 creatures are out. That means every single turn we get to double our life total, because this person's power will be the same amount of life we have. So that will double our life total. So we have those 2 cards out, we're going to be gaining a lot of life. And actually, with that right there, it's probably dead, because if we have like 40 health, that's 40 damage, depending on what card we have out. So that could be very, very good. If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. That is great. Double the life is double the fun. Flying, first strike, vigilance, lifelink, protection from red and from green. No thank you. Indestructible, as long as your devotion in black is less than 5, Eros isn't a creature. No. Whenever you gain life, you may put a 1/1 counter on a primate. Yes, we want some creatures to grow here. There we go. Okay. Flying. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Now, see, that is very expensive for an ability we can already do. Right? I mean, I know we can do it. Forgot to add this one. This is the exact same thing. That's okay. It goes into the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile. If you do, return it to the battlefield under the owner's control. At the beginning of your next upkeep, it gains haste. So once you play it, Remember, $100 limit. Yeah, for each card, I know. Okay. Nah. Flying. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Now there we go. We can do this one because this one is cheaper because we just want it for the ability, not for the creature. Okay. Flying. Whenever a Sphinx enters the battlefield, target player's life total becomes 10. Ooh boy. That might be good in case someone else is doing something here. Lifelink. As long as you have 30 more life, Star Ascendant gets +5/+5 and has flying for 1 mana. That's pretty good, especially when we start at 40 health. Okay. Enters the battlefield. May search through the library for a basic lane card, then put that card on the battlefield tapped and shuffle your lobby. When it dies, you may draw a card for 4 mana. Flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's not bad. This deck's gonna be so many triggers. So many triggers. Flying. Lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Okay, this is a must-have for sure. Okay, extort. Okay, whenever you tap a swamp for mana, add to your mana pool. Okay, so this just doubles all your swamps. Okay. Suntan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to your battlefield. That is good, because we're going to want to get our cards back. Suntan might be one that we take out, though, because it's not 100% what we're going for here. Okay, sacrifice another creature. You gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. Yabba dabba doo. You may have Clever Impersonator enter the battlefield as a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield. No, thank you. Flying at the beginning. Oh, flying at the beginning of your upkeep, target player draws a card and loses 1 life. No. Flying. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you may draw 2 cards. No, thank you. Vigilance. Protection from creatures. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, destroy that creature. Put a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Now that is a great ability, because that means it gets rid of whatever gives us a problem after it deals damage to us, which is perfect against protecting us against commanders, because then they're only able to hit us once unless they have indestructibility. Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink. Flying. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on Sun Scorch Regan and you gain 1 life. Nice, nice. We gain 1 life and a 1/1 counter. Phyrexian Metamorphic. You may have Phyrexian Metamorphic into the battlefield as a copy of any artifact or creature on the battlefield, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Okay, extort. Other creatures you control have extort. So when you spell, you pay 1 if you do each opponent. Sure. Whenever it attacks, you may turn target artifact, creature, or enchantment, artifact, creature, or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Nice, nice. That is good, good. So we're going to get all the cards we want back. Flying. When enters the battlefield or dies, exile target permanent. That is not good at all for what we're trying to do anyway. Okay, our instance. Okay, counter target spell, activate ability, or triggered ability. That is really good because that allows us to stop things that are normally not able to be countered. Look at the top 5 cards of your library as many times as you choose. You may pay 1 life, put those cards on the bottom of your library in any order, then look at the top 5 cards of your library. Then shuffle your library and put the last card you looked at this way on top of it in any order. Okay. Exile target creature's controller may search your library or pass to exile. It's good. Good exile spell. It's a 1 mana exile. Okay, you gain X life and draw X cards. No. Search your library for an artifact or an enchantment card and reveal it. Then reveal that card. Shuffle your library. Then put that card on top of it for 1 mana. Very, very good. We want some tutors in our deck. Okay, destroy target creature or enchantment. I guess it's cheaper than Utter End, but that's non-land permanent. Yeah, sure, we'll add Mortify. Mortify is not bad. Okay, Return to Dust. It allows you to destroy 2 things for 4 mana if it's on your main phase. So that's pretty good, especially because we're going to be fighting against Breya. Okay. Choose one. You gain 5 life, or choose one. You gain 5 life, or counter target spell, or target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. We're gonna want this because we're blue, and we're gonna be against Tucker, who loves using his counter spells. Vampiric Tutor is a must-have, especially because the life part is not a downside. Counter target spell. Its controller can't cast spells this turn. Ooh, wow. That's like a counter spell that ends all the counter spells. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card and reveal that card. Shuffle your library and then put the card on top of it. Double that player's life total. Shuffle Beacon of Immortality into its owner's hand. Or in its library. Ooh, wow. That could win us the game, so we're going to put that in there. Draw 3 cards, then let's brainstorm. Drawing cards, that's good though. Cheat cards, good. Counter target enchantment, instant or sorcery spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying. Swan Song, good counter spell, good counter spell. We're going to need a lot of counter spells though, because we need to be able to protect ourselves, because our win conditions are going to be instantly targeted. Counter target spell. If the spell is countered this way, exile instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard. Dissipate. Good counter spell. We want some mana ramp cards here though. Destroy target creature or planeswalker for 3 mana. Hero's Downfall is a great card. Okay, counter target non-creature spell for 2 mana. That is really good, especially for countering a counter spell. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards in 2 piles. Put one of the piles into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Cryptic Command. Choose 2. Counter target spell. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Draw a card. For 4 mana. Yeah, that could be very helpful because we could counter a spell and then tap all creatures. Okay. Sorceries. Destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. That's nice, but we probably don't want to lose our creatures. Demonic Tutor. We want tutors, we want to be able to get our stuff out. Okay. Destroy all creatures, you gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. We will do that because we have things that deal damage for people gaining life that aren't creatures. So that card could also win us the game. Diabolic Tutors. An expensive tutor, so we will not go for it. Each opponent loses X life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Sure, it's a nice cheap life gain spell. That it's each opponent. So because we're playing in a 1v1v1 format or 1v1v1 game, whatever I pay is doubled. Put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's library's miracle. You may cast this card from for its miracle cost when you draw it. If it's the first card you drew this turn. Cool, cool. Death Grasp deals X damage to target creature or player. You gain X life. That's good. That's another remove spell that also gives us life at the same time. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices an online permanent or discards a card. Ooh. That could be a nice way to get rid of stuff that's, that could be a good way to get rid of stuff that's, like, untargetable, right? Because it's sacrifice. Yeah, so that gets past exile, that gets past indestructibility, hexproof, and all that stuff. Hello, Angelia Flores. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're building a deck right now for a challenge later on this week. Destroy target permanent for 3 mana. Oh my god, that's a great card. Okay. Hey, Gaming Jacuz, welcome, welcome. Destroy creatures, no thank you. If the Approach of the Second Sun was cast from your hand and you've cast another spell named Approach of the Sun, Second Sun, this game, you win the game. Otherwise, put Approach of the Second Sun into its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life. Okay, that's another win condition. We will do that because if we have counter spells in our hand, we can win the game with that. Okay, exile target non-land permanent. Each player other than the controller creates a token that's a copy of it. Okay. Choose 2. Destroy all artifacts or destroy all enchantments. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less, or destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 4 or greater. Destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle your library, draw a card. Okay. Hour of Revelation costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. Destroy all non-land permanents. Who disliked the stream? I don't know. Someone probably doesn't like magic. Ooh, artifacts. So, Soul Ring, you're like, oh my god, it's in 86% of the decks. Well, the truth is, it should be in 100% of the decks, because Soul Ring is good in every single deck. It really is. It's 1 mana for 2 that you can use over and over again. So, just to point out how good it is, you place a basic land. You tap the basic land, you play Soul Ring. You tap the Soul Ring for 2, and then you can play any signet you want. So on turn 1, you have 1 mana, then you have 2 mana, but if you use that 1 mana, you can get 2. So you on turn 1, you have 4 mana that you can use. That means on turn 2, if you have a land, you have 5 mana you can use. So it's pretty good. So we won't always want Soul Ring because we want ramp. We got a lot of expensive cards in the deck here. A lot of things have X to them. Lands you control have add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So this is very good because 1, this is convenient, and 2, we don't have to worry about what color of card we have, what color of land it is. And that's even better because it's a 3-color deck. So that means each color of land we have taps for any color we want. Also, because we're in these colors, we're going to want to get all of these signets because signets are really good. So we're going to add all of them here. So our deck will be complete when we reach 100 cards. Oh, that's not where we want it to go. There we go. Far. Check the prototype box when your deck is under 60 cards for this format standard. You had 57. Disables card name validation. Also helpful if the card is not yet added. Careful using this feature could make your charts inaccurate. Okay. So we are at 57 cards. Cool. Okay, we put these 2 things in. Okay, Thought Vessel. You have no maximum hand size. We're going to want this too, because we're going to be drawing an absurd amount of cards. You have no maximum hand size. This is also another one. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may gain 1 life for each card in your hand. This is going to be a lot of life, because we're going to be having, darn it, a lot of cards in our hand. No more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. This is good, because this also helps us with not being attacked very much. Okay, indestructible. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. This is good, because this is an indestructible way to get mana. This is all for ramp purposes, because we want a lot of ramp. Ooh, this is a Gilded Lotus. Add 3 mana of any color to your mana pool. So it's 5 mana, but it's a constant. You get 3 every turn after paying the 5. So this is actually a very good card. It's called the Gilded Lotus because it's a nerfed version of a Black Lotus. A Black Lotus is 0 for 3 mana, 1 use, which is a broken card. I'm going to be Mouse, LMAO. I don't get it, Jacuz. This is nice. This just pretty much gives us whatever we want, so add this. You might be noticing that I'm adding a lot of the artifacts, because artifacts are quite good, but also might be our downfall at the same time, because we're going to be playing against Breya. Command Spear, as I was talking about before. Good card. You may gain 1 life. Then if you have at least 10 life more than your starting life total, transfer. And then it goes to target player loses 5 life. It's okay. Look at the top. Your cards in your library, then put them back in anymore. Draw a card, then put this drawing top on top of someone's library. Elixir of Immortality. This is I own this card. It's a really good artifact. I do like it quite a bit. Actually, the truth is we're going to have to remove some cards here because we're actually over, because we need to add lands too. But the good thing is, oh god, we didn't even get to the enchantments yet. Oh no. hexproof and haste. We don't have any hexproof in the deck, so we're gonna add some. No. And 3 mana for 4. 3 mana for 4. But it's 3 colorless, so that's why it's not as good. Okay. I'm going to be a little money mouse. Oh, okay. No choice, but money mouse. Okay. Deck has been saved. No, we don't want it to be this format. That format is bad. Okay. How many cards do we have in our deck? It'd be nice to know. Ah, right there, 66. And you want at least 35 lands in a commander deck. It depends how much ramp you have. Now we have quite a bit of ramp, so we could do with this many cards. But the thing is, we haven't even gotten to the enchantments yet. So, well, I am a YouTube nerd. Good to know, Jakuz. Good to know. So we're gonna go a little bit more here, and then we'll wean some cards out. Creatures can attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays X for each of those creatures, where X is the number of enchantments you control. So we don't have very many enchantments. Well, we actually only have one so far. Actually, no. Did we add Blind Obedience? We did not. That's okay. Enchantment player? No. This, I actually own this card. This is pretty good. This is another chance for us to win. Another win condition. In case we're not able to get the other one, which is 40 life. Players can't get counters, creatures. Counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. See that? And Kyle left. Oh, and Kyle left. Oh, at least you're here, Jakuz. That is a really good card, but see, we get counters too, so we don't want that. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on target creature for each life you gained. Wow. Okay, that is a really good card that we want, for sure. We also have to add our commander to this. Our commander counts as a card. Artifact enchantment spells your opponent's. Okay, so it's just. As Palace Siege enters the battlefield, choose cons or dragons. Cons of the battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from graveyard to your hand. Dragons at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. When Detention Spear enters the battlefield, it may exile target non-land permanent not named Detention Spear and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. When Detention Spear leaves the battlefield, return the exiled cards on the battlefield under their owner's control. If you were to gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. That is what we want. Enchant creature. Yes, okay, so the reason why this one is really good, it doesn't really have anything relating to what we're going to do, but see, because we're a life gain deck, as I've mentioned before, we have to worry about their commanders. So this thing does not kill their commander. So when their commander dies, they have the choice to put into the command zone, which allows them to play it again. But what this does is it makes the commander an 0-1, so it means the commander cannot damage us, and it takes away all of their abilities. So we don't have to worry about their abilities or their damage, so we don't have to worry about them hurting us. Okay, at the beginning of enchanted player's first upkeep each turn, that player gets an additional upkeep step after this step. This game is bad. Play Skyrim or that space game. Oh, Jakuz, you like the space game? That's good to hear. And Skyrim, I'm not planning on doing any. I'm only planning on doing one more stream of Skyrim. So tell me what you want me to see, and I'll do it. No play Roblox. He. I haven't played that Roblox in a long time. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls destroys a non-creature permanent you control, you may destroy target permanent that opponent. Okay, one second. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls destroys a non-creature permanent you control, you may destroy target permanent that opponent controls. So they destroy anything of mine that is not a creature. I get to destroy anything of theirs, no matter what it is. So we'll add that. At the beginning of each step, end step, if you gain 4 or more life this turn, put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying out of the battlefield. Now this is going to be a lot, because each turn, no matter what, we get 2 life. So you just have to gain 2 more life, and we get a 4/4. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if you didn't lose life this turn, you may put a quest counter on blah blah blah. Put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield to activate this ability. Has 4 or more quest counters on it. So when it has 4 quest counters on it, you can do it as many times as you want, because it's not a tapping ability. Right, just let me double check. Yes, it does not tap, which means you can do it as many times as you want once you have 4 counters. If the ley line of anticipation is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. You may cast non-land permanents. You may cast non-land cards as though they had flash. Nah, that's okay. BRB. Okay. I will also be right back. I've returned. Okay. Now there's planeswalkers. Oh, we'll take a quick look at them, but I don't think we're going to add any planeswalkers. Target opponent life total becomes 10. He's expensive. I mean, you can do it right away, but he's expensive. You control target player during that player's next turn. Now that is a very good ability. You draw 1 card and you lose 1 life. Destroy target creature. The target creature gets an emblem with whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. Wait, what? Why would I want that? When target opponent gets an emblem, whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. Oh, okay. When it's on that, it's on them. Okay, yeah. until your next turn. Up to one target creature gets plus -3, -0, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Ooh, that's really good to shut down Breya. You gain 2 life and draw a card. You get an emblem with your opponents can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untap step. Okay, this person's really good. Target player discards a card. Search your library for a card that shuffles your library. Search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. So it's a tutor. It's good. Put all creature cards from all graveyards. Oh, it's just the newer version of Lana Vest. Newer art. I have that same Lana Vest, just different art. Put 3/1 white soldier creatures tokens on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures with power 4 or greater. You get an emblem with creatures you control get +2/+2 and have flying. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a non-creature, non-land card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. When you cast your next instant sorcery spell from your hand, this turn it gains rebound. You get an emblem with your opponent's cast. It can't cast non-creature spells. We're gonna actually add this person though, because that person's quite impressive. God, my brain hurts from thinking about cards. Commander is required. Yes, yes. Okay, so we have 66 cards. You sure? Okay. Okay, well, we're gonna have 67 cards here. 67 cards, because we gotta add this person as our commander. So we have to go boop, commander, and then we have to add this. Hi Kyle, sup dude. There we go. And they hopefully count as our commander. If we hit save, do we get the error, or are we good now? Your deck has been updated. Okay, looks good, looks good, looks good. Oh god, why did we just jump to 75? Why do we just jump to 75? Making a commander deck for the challenge. Yabba dabba doo. You're doing that now? I thought you said you couldn't. Well then, everyone, the challenge might be earlier than on the weekend, so that might be pretty cool. Okay. So, we have 25 cards for room to add lands. Now, I think that might be okay, because we have an unbelievable amount of mana ramp and tutors, just in case something bad happens. So we're gonna go with it. Let's go to lands here. Okay, so command tower, always good to have. Tapped. I guess it's everything we need, so I guess we'll get it. Okay, you have no maximum hand size. We need that. We need as many of these as we can get, because we're going to be drawing a lot of cards, and we don't want to discard. Shrine enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, Shrine enters the battlefield tapped. Okay, is there another version of this? Like, is it tap for double? Or is it tap for 1? I don't know. Okay, add 2 to your mana pool. Activate this ability only if you control 5 or more lands. Battlefield. Unless you control a forest. Sorry, a plains or an island. That's good. And that. Evolving Wild's good for mana fixing. Comes in tapped. There we go. Yeah, I guess we can add these two. I wish that you will stream GTA 5 one day. I used to stream it a lot. If you'd like to go back and watch this stuff, I have probably dozens of hours of GTA streamed. If you'd like to go see that, I don't think I'll be doing any GTA streams for a long while or ever. Maybe I might do some when the next GTA comes out, or if I ever get Red Dead Redemption, because it's like a Western version of GTA made by the same people. Search your library for a plains or island card and put that on the battlefield. Oh my god. It doesn't come in tapped. These are amazing. We're definitely getting these. Each land is a swamp each land is a swamp in addition to its other land types. I guess because of each land is a swamp in addition to its other land types. Okay, so that means because this is a land, it's a swamp, so you can tap it for a swamp. Temple of the Shrine. Oh, this is a damaged land. We don't want those. There's a battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Nice, sure. Okay, we're gonna add this. We're gonna refresh after I save, because these cards need basic lands, and we want to have enough room to add basic lands. What are we at? 89. Okay, we still got some room here. We're almost at the bottom of the list. Terramorph Expanse, good for mana fixing. So we're gonna want a lot of mana fixing because we don't have too many lands. You should check the price of your deck. You added 3 cards that are above $50 in total. Kyle, just so you know, it's not total price $100. You can't add a card to your deck that's more than $100. Okay? The reason why we add that rule is because if you want to make your deck like turn 3 win or under, you need incredibly expensive cards for the most part. So So you can't have a card that's worth more than $100. There's no overall price limit on the deck. Just so you know. Okay. Pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. That is good, because we'll have lots and lots of life. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander. Shares a creature type with your commander. What type? What's my creature? Giant soldier. Okay, that's not happening. No wonder it's so far down the list. Okay. Honor, City of Brass becomes tapped. It deals 1 damage to you. At 1 mana, reflecting pool. Good card for sure. Well, time to add Geese's Cradle. What is this game? What is this game? What is this game is all about? This game is a card game. So the basic premise of the game is you have your lands, your basic lands, your colors. There's 6 types. You have plains, forests, mountains, swamps, and islands. Those are the 5 different colors. And then you have colorless, which is a diamond shape. Murder. Yes, it's about murder. No. So those bases of mana, you get to tap and pay and spend cards for mana cost based on these colors and play these onto your battlefield. With these cards, you have to be able to deal a certain amount of damage to an opponent to win. Rather, deal 20 damage if you're in standard, 15 damage if you're 20 damage if you're in draft, or 40 damage if you're in commander, 30 damage if you're into a giant, so on. There's also other ways to win it, of course, too, from looking at the previous cards, that if we had 40 life, we win the game. But for the most part, life is, there's I think 3 ways to win. That is from a trigger, from milling the other person to death, so making them draw their entire library, and from dealing lethal damage. So this Magic the Gathering is also probably one of the most, or is the most expensive card game out there. It is also the most complicated and the most strategy based card game out there. So very fun, really cool. Battlefield tapped. Sacrifice, let's see, pay 1. There's a battlefield and sacrifice, unless you untap target attacking creature, prevent all damage that will be dealt to and dealt by that creature this turn. Doesn't leave too much room, because we want this. Okay, so that makes us have 94 cards, which means we can get 2 plains, 2 swamps, and 2 islands. Okay, so we go here, save and continue editing. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go swamp. Swamp. Quantity 2. Add to board. Then we're going to go plains. add to board. And we're gonna go island 2. Island 2, add to board. And then we will save. Okay, so let's look at our stats here. Okay, so our black works out. Our white is way too much, and our blue is not really that much. 7 symbols? Are you kidding? So our mana is not balanced too well. Mana curve. Okay. So this is a very competitive deck compared to other decks that we've had. And our deck is not too expensive. It's only $575. Yeah. And it's very spread out to what we have. We have equal creatures, artifacts, and enchantments, and then we have a good amount of sorceries and a lot of instances. And then 1 planeswalker. Okay. Sure. Card odds. Okay, turn 1, everything for the most part is 7.07% chance of getting it. Okay, and by turn 15, there's a 21.21% chance of getting it. But the chances are higher than that because we have cards in our deck that allow us to search for any card we want. So if we get that card, it increases the chances of us getting the card we want by 100%. Draw a hand. Okay, so if we were to get this hand here. Okay, so we would play Evolving Wilds. We would get a plains. With the plains, it would allow us to play this next turn. So we would have a plains and a island. Does this make us draw 3 and then discard 3? Or draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from the hand outside our library. Okay. I don't know if we would do that right away. Okay, so we have 3 mana with this hand. With 3 mana, we can't play anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, but the card that we picked up next was a land, so we would have been good, and then we could have played this, that, still won't be able to play that because they're still at 4 lands, but we won't be able to play that. And then that. I'm able to play that. I'm able to play that. Okay, then we were able to play everything. Okay, I think it's good. I think it's good. It's not too balanced for mana. Like black is nice and balanced. White is too much, and blue is too little. Okay. So if we go to copy. Wait, what? What? Okay, it's just things I could potentially tap for red and for green. Okay. Cool. I'm a little worried that we have a little bit too much white mana. Okay. Well, so this is the deck that we are going to be using for the challenge. I might edit it slightly off camera if I find a better card, or just general tweaking, and then hopefully the next Magic related stream will be us doing the challenge. So I hope everyone enjoyed this stream and this type of stream, because I'm planning on making this a series of sort of one thing a week. One at the beginning of the week making the deck, and then one at the end of the week showing off the deck. It might be lowered down to one stream a week for the Magic just on the weekend, or whenever we're doing the challenge, and have what commander that we're all doing as an announcement and a start of a video, or something like that. It just depends what you guys want, so I need you guys to let me know by telling me in the comments below, because Magic is fun and I like to do some Magic. I just gotta know what you guys want me to do. So I hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.